Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Friday, December 6, 2024. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with legal news pertaining to All Elite Wrestling. Nick Nemeth is bringing a lawsuit against AEW citing abuse, harassment, and threats he claimed to have suffered while working for the company, according to documents obtained on Wednesday by Fightful. Nemeth claims that CM Punk was the source of his issues and that the company did nothing to address the situation when he complained about it. In the lawsuit, Nemeth is seeking financial compensation, as well as an overhaul of AEW's internal policies to prevent similar incidents in the future. Nemeth claims that he initially contacted AEW's then head of legal, Mega Parikh, with concerns about being targeted by Punk in April of 2023, but did not receive a response, and that he subsequently found that he wasn't being booked for matches, which he described as being silently fired. After making anti-Punk comments on social media, Nemeth claims that he was directly threatened by Punk backstage at Collision on June 21, 2023. Following Parikh's departure from AEW, Nemeth claims that he continued to seek a response from AEW's legal team, and that he was initially offered a settlement in August 2023 after Punk's departure from the company, but that the offer was withdrawn for unknown reasons. Taking a look at ratings news, AEW Dynamite drew 586,000 viewers to TBS on Wednesday according to WrestleNomics. That's up from last week's Dynamite audience of 536,000. The rating in the 18 to 49-year-old demographic was a .17, up from last week's .15 rating. Tuesday night's NXT drew a viewership of 593,000 to the CW according to WrestleNomics. That's a drop from last week's audience of 632,000. The rating in the 18 to 49-year-old demographic was a .13, down from last week's demo rating of a .15 and the lowest NXT has garnered for 2024. And Monday Night Raw this week brought in 1.709 million viewers to USA Network according to WrestleNomics. That's a nearly 15% increase from last week's audience of 1.510 million. The rating in the 18 to 49-year-old demographic was a .54, also up about 15% from last week's demo rating of .47. MLW presented Eric Bischoff's One Shot, which streamed live on YouTube yesterday from the Melrose Ballroom in Manhattan, New York. The story of the show is Bischoff having power over the promotion for one night. In the main event, the team of MLW World Champion Satoshi Kojima and Shigeo Okamura won the MLW World Tag Team title from Yukiro Kwan and Minoru Suzuki.
Contra is on an offensive. Contra's reeling. Contra feeling the effects. Super Cozy Cutters.
This has got to be it.
It's what got the disputed win, but no dispute this time. Cozy Max have done it again.
Mystico retained both his mask and the MLW World Middleweight title with a win over Trevor Lee. In Eazy-E's Roulette, where a spinning wheel determined the stipulation of the match, Brock Anderson and C.W. Anderson defeated Matthew Justice and his mystery partner, actor Paul Walter Hauser. In a fan's choice match where online voting determined the stipulation, Alex Kane defeated Bobby Fish by knockout in a UWFI rules match. Afterwards, Bischoff appeared on a video screen and fired Kane. Other results saw Matt Riddle defeat Donovan Dijak by disqualification. Del Miexo defeated Anna Everett. After her victory, Exo challenged MLW Featherweight Champion Janai Kai to a title versus hair match. And in the opener, Mads Krul Kruger defeated Baba Thunder by referee stoppage. After the match, Baba Thunder, the former Dabba-Kato in WWE, accepted an offer by Kruger to join the Contra Unit stable. TNA Wrestling presented Impact last night on Access TV, featuring matches taped on November 8th and 9th at the Crown Arena in Fayetteville, North Carolina. In the main event, the Hardy Boys defeated the System by disqualification to retain the TNA World Tag Team title. The System put the Hardys through a table after the match, prompting Santino Marella to make a tables match between the two teams for final resolution. In the opening match, Kushida won a 5-way over Ace Austin, JDC, Leon Slater, and Trent Seven to become the #1 contender to the X Division title. In other results, Frankie Kazarian and the Northern Armory beat Steve Macklin, Eric Young, Jonathan Gresham, and Mike Santana. PCO and Sami Callihan defeated the Good Hands, and Tasha Steelz went over Jordan Grace with an illegal assist from Alicia Edwards. After the match, Steelz and Edwards attacked Grace until Masha Slamovich made the save. Ring of Honor was streamed last night on Honor Club, featuring matches taped on November 14th at the MVP Arena in Albany, New York. In the main event, Action Andretti and Top Flight defeated Shane Taylor Promotions. In other results, Gates of Agony beat Griff Garrison and Preston Vance. Billy Starks went over Lady Frost. Katsuyori Shibata topped Alex Reynolds. Beef and JD Drake defeated Waves and Curls. And Trish Adora beat Rachel Ellering. Turning to Japan, during Day 13 of New Japan Pro Wrestling's World Tag League on Thursday, a video played of AEW's Brody King accepting the open challenge of IWGP Global Champion David Finlay for the multi-promotional Wrestle Dynasty show on January 5th. Yesterday's show took place in Nobioka and featured 4 A-block matches in the tournament. Gabe Kidd and Sonata defeated Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi in the main event. Other victorious teams were Alex Zane and Raisuke Taguchi, Ryohei Oiwa and Zack Sabre Jr., and Shota Umino and Tomoyoki Hanma. Gabe Kidd and Sonata lead the block with 10 points. The tournament continues today in Sendai with 4 B-block matches taking place. The Great Okana and Hanare lead that block with 10 points. All Japan Pro Wrestling ran the penultimate night of their Real World Tag League yesterday in Tokyo. In a pivotal B-block match, Kento Miyahara and Davey Boy Smith Jr. defeated Cyrus and Harley Jackson to finish on top of the block with 10 points. As a result, Miyahara and Smith now move on to a semifinal matchup against the runners-up of the A block, Rising Hayato and Yuma Anzai. The brother team of Jun and Rei Saito won Block A with 12 points and will now face Block B runners-up Ryuki Honda and Rene Abe in the semifinals. Both the semifinal and the final of the Tag League will take place on Sunday inside Korakuen Hall. In news from outside the ring, Tim Hornbaker has been named the 2025 recipient of the Jim Melby Award from the George Tragos Luthez Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame in Waterloo, Iowa, according to an official announcement. The award recognizes excellence in professional wrestling journalism. The award is scheduled to be presented next July at the official Hall of Fame induction ceremony in Waterloo. Hornbaker is a wrestling historian and author whose books include The Last Real World Champion, The Legacy of Nature Boy Ric Flair, Master of the Ring, The Biography of Nature Boy Buddy Rogers, National Wrestling Alliance, The Untold Story of the Monopoly That Strangled Professional Wrestling, Death of the Territories and Capital Revolution, The Rise of the McMahon Wrestling Empire. Melby himself was the first recipient of the award in 2009, with other recipients since then, including J. Michael Kenyon, Bill Apter, Larry Matisick, Dave Meltzer, and Tom Burke. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.